Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm here with varsity bowling coaches Dennis Ganesh and Mr. Eric Sisko. And guys, pretty much the whole season is done now, the regular season anyway. How we doing? How did we do? And give us a little insight.
Go ahead, Eric.
I'll say our kids did outstanding this year. They built on everything that we taught them last year, bringing it into this year. And I think they pretty much dominated the MAC Blue. As it stands right now, the girls are 9-1. They're either going to be in first or tied for first. And the boys are 8-2, which are also going to be tied for first or in first, depending on how the other matches end at the end of the week.
Oh, that's great. Dennis, from your perspective.
Pretty good. They're a little hard-headed sometimes, but every now and then they put it all together like they did last night. We had a tournament last night, did real well.
They don't share their food either.
No, they don't share their food. They do with each other.
They do. They were sharing cookies today.
Oh, well, that's good.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, that's good. And what about bowlers on your team that have shown the most improvement?
I mean, I would say all of them have improved.
That's the default answer. Come on, who's the best?
No, that's a loaded question. That's what that is. No, I mean, I would say by far they all have improved. We've had quite a few of them stand out. Emily has definitely gotten a lot better this year. Maddie has definitely got a lot better this year, and Annabelle's just been our spirit queen, right? She really misses. So,
No, we've statistically grown in every way, shape, and form. They're missing many less spares, pins on the left and the right side. We usually preach to them we don't miss those pins, and now they're doing it with confidence. They're hitting all their targets and making their spares pretty routine.
And from the guys, the boys varsity, who's been kind of your steadiest one out there that's kind of been steady through the whole season?
We got a few guys out there. Not tooting any own horns, but Brody Ganesh is pretty good. Been most consistent boy. He's a junior this year. Ethan Amormino placed in several tournaments over his last couple years, but he's been solid as a rock. And solid as a rock, or head like a rock, Cameron Hill. He'll be here with us, but everybody's done really well. They've gelled, and when they struggle, they usually do a real good job of picking each other up. So they're doing all good.
So they're good at interacting, and the camaraderie that you've built on this team is pretty good. Would you say that?
Well, yeah, when Coach and I can't, because we can't watch every single shot every single time, the kids are helping each other coach. They've got a view from behind. They can see how the releases, approaches. They can pinpoint little types of mistakes and give them constructive criticism for their next shot and how to do it. So watching these kids listen to us and take what we're teaching them and then moving it on, it's wonderful, really.
Right. And not to mention, they don't always listen to us every time we mention it, so it always comes better from a peer. So it does help.
Nobody's dropped their ball on your toe or anything like that?
No.
Okay, good.
Their own toes maybe, but not ours.
Okay. You have tournaments and you also have matches against individual schools. What is the difference in the way that you approach a tournament as opposed to a single match against a single school? Is there any difference? Is there any mindset that you change?
No,
we coach to win.
Right.
We're out there competing to the best of our ability all the time.
Do you feel that the kids feel a little bit of pressure in a tournament?
No. I don't think pressure, but they definitely love performing in front of all the crowds. They tell us all the time, we want to do more tournaments. And there's only so many you can do when you're juggling matches and fundraisers and stuff like that. But, every fundraiser, every tournament, they keep going after it.
guys are in the MAC Blue, and you had mentioned earlier the girls may have a chance to win the title, but where do you stand against teams in the MAC Blue?
It's where they stand against us.
Yeah, they are either going to be in first or tied for first, like I said, depending on how Marysville does. But honestly, I think how they stack up in our MAC, I think they're the dominant team. I don't think really anybody in our division has a chance of beating them regularly, if at all. As long as they keep their mental state straight, there's no stopping these kids.
And the way they've been bowling, they're looking up for us, right? They know Romeo's coming, and they've seen us place in tournaments. So we're who they're coming after now, especially after this season. Next season's not going to be any easier. They're going to work even harder.
And what about the season this year? There's got to be a few moments that either made you laugh or were memorable as heck, and you'll never forget them. Anything that comes to mind or pops up in your head that you're going to remember for a while?
Our tournaments, when these kids are placing first, third, or fourth, or even yesterday, both the boys and girls taking first place in the whole tournament. Watching these kids perform under pressure and knowing that they're going for first or second or third and fourth, and how they can keep their head cool, and they do everything that we have asked them to, and they perform outstandingly.
And there was a moment a couple days ago, we had a guy with the front nine, right? It's not every day that somebody does that. And he performed. He's nervous, he'll admit it, but nobody does that on a regular basis, and he did it just the other day. Kid's 16 or 17 years old.
What did you shoot? 270?
278.
278.
Right. And I weighed that one time. At one time, I weighed that much. I could never shoot that much in bowling. But, other thing I noticed, too, is I don't see it much, but the kids bowl with two hands, and they sort of spin the ball up there. I mean, how do you get it to hit your mark when you're spinning like that? I mean, have you ever tried it?
I've tried it, and I'm no good at it. I can help coach it because the theory of bowling is still the same, throwing the ball, releasing the same, rotating, hitting the targets. But doing it, I don't even try anymore.
Like they grab it and they...
It's like a steering wheel. It's totally different to me, but, they do it pretty well, a couple of the guys.
When they're used to it, that's fine. I have tried throw two-handed, and I just can't do it much either. I'm better bowling left-handed than I would be two-handed.
Two-handed, better left-handed.
Even though I'm a righty. So.
Yeah.
We're more likely to hurt ourselves probably, especially at our age.
Well, there's always a chiropractor ready to help, right?
You might need more than a chiropractor.
Right. And we got tournament time coming up as far as the states go. What do you think?
Well, first crack is coming up here next week. We're going to have regionals. We're going to have to perform really well there before we can even worry about making states. We've got some good bowlers, but if they don't put it all together that day on regionals, both Friday and Saturday, states is, kind of out of the question unless they're ready to roll.
Right. Regionals is one of the tougher ones. We did have a tournament which was like Regionals 1.0. Now we'll be at the real thing because we're going to be bowling, or these kids are going to be bowling the MAC red teams, the MAC white teams, the MAC blue teams. I mean, they're going to be bowling the best of the best. And if they want to move on to states, they got to be the best.
Yeah, there will be no frames or games off. You have to compete at regionals every step of the way. Otherwise, you're looking up, and it's a whole lot harder to come up from behind.
Yeah, it is very similar to most high school teams that go into the state tournament. I mean, whether it's hockey, basketball, football. I mean, you've got to be right on your game that day. I mean, everything's got to click. And there's no chance for a letdown. Once you get a little opening, these teams are too good. They'll take advantage of it.
No.
We always tell our kids, spares make and break a game, and that's for sure.
You got to get them.
No, and the thing with bowling, too, if you're not, leading the pack, you have to still be waiting in the wings because if your opponent messes up, you need to be able to jump right through. If you get worried that a couple people have some strikes in a row and you start defeating yourself mentally, you're kind of done for, right? So that's why we want them to jump through that hole.
What would now you got most of your team back next year, right? Correct.
Yep.
But what would you say to kids out there, Romeo High School kids out there, about coming and joining the bowling team? What can you entice them with, I guess?
Well, we're not even just looking for high school kids. We're looking 9 through 12, right? You don't have to know how to bowl. You don't have to like bowling. Come out, give it a shot. You'll come around, hang out with our high school kids, and you'll see that this game is fun. People talk down about it. It's nerdy. I don't like it. It's expensive. You come out here, you get started, and you'll be grinding with these guys pretty regularly. So I'd say come out. Give it a shot. You never know.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Coach and I, we've been doing this now for a little more than 2 years, and we love it. We want to get freshmen in there and sophomore in there because, I mean, seniors come and go, right? You can't keep them forever, so we got to fill these voids in with the next kids that are coming up. And in all honesty, it's bowling. What else do you do in Michigan in the wintertime?
Yeah, I was just going to say, weather today's we had is definitely bowling weather, and you guys had a match today. So,
Yep. And we're flexible too because we've got multi-sport athletes, right? If you have other things to do, we can work around your schedule. If you can't make a match or can't make a practice, we get it. There's lots of things in high school. We get it. And we'll work with you.
so how hard are the practices?
Well, practice the way you play. Right.
You're just bowling, right?
No, we do drills.
Oh,
We
you do drills.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do specific types of techniques on how to teach them with their approach or their release, target shooting, one no step or one step drills. It's all the basic technique and mechanics of how to throw a ball properly. Instead of trying to do it all in one shot, you break it up piece by piece. And when they can master that, their game gets better.
So I'm trying to put this together. If somebody is interested that happens to see this out there, how do they contact? Can they contact Cody Smith, the athletic director?
Absolutely.
And he'll get to you guys, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Cody, right?
Everybody knows Cody.
Right. Get a hold of Carrie Went, Cody Smith, Romeo HS Bowling .yahoo or at yahoo.com. Come up. Talk to our students. Talk to our bowlers. Come on.
Well, let's meet some of your students right now. Thank you for joining us here, and we're going to talk to some of the bowlers and get their experiences and their little play on what happened today.
Yep. Sounds good. Thanks for having us.
All right, thanks, guys.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.
I'm here with girls varsity bowlers for the Romeo High School Bulldogs, and this is Annabelle Trelfa and Emily Inwood. And welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys, I watched you bowl, so I know a little bit about your game.
Yeah.
But tell us, where are you at right now in the season as compared with the beginning of the season? Where do you feel you're at?
I feel like we all really improved a lot. I know I started my season off pretty strong with a pretty good game. And then I went down a little bit, and now I'm picking it back up. So
Yeah, we've all improved a lot, and this season we're 8-1 so far, or 9-1.
9-1 now.
Yeah, 9-1.
Well, you had a match tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How did that go tonight?
We won 29 out of 30.
Yeah, we had one person lost one game, but that was it. We got all the rest we beat.
And you obviously 9-1. You've had a successful season. Do you go in there and do you expect to just roll them over, as they say? No pun intended.
Well, yeah, we're the top team right now. Well, we're tied for first, so we always go into it with a pretty positive mindset, but there's always that slight chance of, like, we still have to put our best out just in case.
Yeah, you can't just expect to win every game.
Yeah.
You still have to be prepared and be in the right mindset and bowl the best you can.
Now you talk about mindset a little bit. So here you are. Your team is down by a couple of pins, and you have a chance to make a spare. And there's maybe 3 pins out on the lanes, and you need to get them all down. What's going through your mind when you're standing up there with your bowling ball and you're looking down, staring at the pins?
Well, first you got to see what pins you have, obviously. And then you got to see where you want your ball to hit to pick those up. And from there, you adjust your feet and your mark, and your teammates will cheer you on. And
Do you think about that when you're,
oh, yeah.
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 even though you know there's pressure to win?
Yeah. Most of the time, it's better not to think about the pressure, because once you start thinking of the pressure, then it all goes downhill.
Yeah, and when you release the ball, do you know that you have it right away, or?
Sometimes you know right away that it's a great ball, you're going to hit them, and then it doesn't hit it right where you thought it would, like it chops it right in half, and you're like, dang it. Or it's like iffy, and then you make it, and you're really, really excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my ball reacts a little bit different. So every once in a while I'll have a shot where I'm like, okay, it's good, and then it'll way overhook or it won't hook at all, and then I'm
boy.
like,
Do you is there a memorable spare that you made this year that you're pretty proud of, or have you just not had that many difficult spares?
I don't know. I made one today that I didn't think I was gonna make at all. There was like 5 pins out on the lane. They were just kind of scattered around, and I hit one pin, and it just kind of flared out, and everything went down. So that was a pretty good one.
I had one today. It was the first great frame of my last game. I had the 1, 2, and the 7. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this 1, 2. If I get the 7, if I get it, I don't. And we'll see what happens. And the ball just rolled right over to it, and I got all 3, and I was
like,
really proud of that.
Spread out a little
Yeah.
bit. That's nice when that kicks over and goes.
Yeah, it went right where I wanted it to.
Have you ever had a game where you're hot and you're striking? Like you got a couple strikes in a row and
Oh, yeah.
That was today.
Yeah. I had 4 in a row, and then I got a 9. And after that, I could feel myself shaking, and I'm like, all right, I got to stand here. I got to take a breath, get myself set. Because if I throw that ball when I'm shaking too much, I don't know where it's going to go. Because I was praying so hard that I was going to make that spare and keep my game going.
Yeah. I started off my game with 3 in a row, and then I got a 9, and I spared it up, which was good. And then I went back to a couple strikes, and it was kind of just like a back and forth game. But it really is like you'll start shaking, but I always just set everything down, and it might take like a minute or so, but I always have to reset, or else the second you let go of the ball, it's going to go anywhere.
And how heavy is the ball that you bowl with, both of you?
Many bowlers, they normally range to 10 to 15 pounds. I started with a 12. Right now I'm throwing a 13.
Yeah, I started with a 10. Last year I was with a 10, and then pretty quick I went up. So now today I bowled with a 13, but I have a 13 and 2 15-pound balls. So
you throw a 15-pound ball too, huh?
Yeah.
And what difference does that make for you? When do you feel like you should throw the 15?
Most of the time I throw the 15. That's usually my go-to, but I have my 14-pound ball that is kind of just like there, which is in the middle, and then my 13 that I threw with today was it was more so just that I was really tired, and I got to a point where I was falling and I couldn't hold the ball up the right way, so I switched to my other ball, and I had to make a couple adjustments, but it ended up working out. So
how about you, Anna?
My 13's my go-to, and then my 12 is my spare ball, so when I need it, I use it. But sometimes like she said, you get those days where like maybe your wrist is hurting, you did something wrong, and you just need the lighter ball, and you'll even get more like higher ball speed by doing that sometimes, just because you can throw it faster because it is lighter.
Who are some of the other girls on the team that have contributed to your 9-1 record?
Ava Pereno.
Yeah, she's
doing
amazing.
Great. Yeah, this is her first year, and she is doing great. Amazing. She's improved so much this year.
Yeah.
Who else can you think of that?
Maddie Raska, she's pretty good. She started off the season with us last year when we started the girls team, and she's picked it up pretty good. So, yeah.
So when you would encourage any other young ladies who wanted to bowl to come out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We always have a lot of fun.
Why is it fun? Why is it so fun? I mean, winning is fun.
One, we're bowling.
Yeah,
Two, the coaches. Like,
Yeah.
we have the best coaches in the world.
We really do.
Yeah, they told me that, and then they said, we're the best coaches in the
They
world.
are.
Yeah.
They really are. They're so much fun. They make every day the best day with
Yeah,
their
they
jokes and helping us out and just making it the best game possible.
And trying to steal a bunch of Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, yeah. Fun memories.
Well, that's a neat jacket you got on there, Annabelle. Just show the folks out there that the Romeo Varsity bowling jacket. There you go. Now just stand there for a minute so we can see it. Come on. Just got to look at it there. Oh, it's got the bulldog on the back with the tongue hanging out. Oh boy, Romeo Varsity bowling. It's a nice jacket. And where'd you get that at?
Oh, I picked it up this Friday.
Oh,
It was my Christmas present.
Oh my.
Very exciting.
That is cool. You get anything cool like that, Emily?
Oh yeah, actually I got my varsity jacket for Christmas too. It's actually out in my car, but it's my mom's old varsity jacket that got redone to be mine.
Oh, that's kind of special.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. Well, what do you think going into the tournament? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one, but I really do think watching us bowl that even though we're going against the best of the best, we've bowled against them before, and I feel like the only thing stopping us is when we get in our head and tell ourselves that we can't.
So as long as we keep
Yeah.
our spirits up,
And finish
have
the season
fun.
like this.
Yeah, just have a good time, and at that, you'll bowl your best.
Well, ladies, we wish you the best of luck here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, and I want to thank you for coming down, and hopefully we can get out there and see you bowl and go far.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm here with boys varsity bowling bowlers, Ethan Amermino and Cameron Hill. Thanks for coming on the show tonight, guys.
Thank you for having us.
So I start with you, Ethan. You have had a pretty good season this year.
Yep.
What do you attribute that to?
Probably the coaching. They've helped me a lot, especially like in meets when I can't find my line or struggling. They'll just come over there, help me, talk me through it, so I understand what I need to do.
What do they say? What are some of the
Like,
stuff that they say?
tell me like where my ball's laying down on the lane. So like my mark is typically the 10 board. So like I have a bad problem where I get it too far outside, and they'll tell me that I'm getting it too far out, or that I need to move my feet left if the ball's overhooking, or right if it's going too far down the lane before it hooks.
So they don't say stuff like, "You're not trying hard enough."
No, never.
Do you want to win this? You
No.
no, nothing like that.
Nope.
Okay. So it's good technical coaching for that.
Mhm.
How about you, Cameron? What do you think?
Man, our coaches are amazing. I'd say over the years, I've learned the way that my ball will react, and it's just getting it down there the right way, getting that visual line in your head.
How did you become a bowler on the varsity bowling
It
team?
was just a, hey, that sounds cool. Love bowling. Why not just go try it out, see if I
Have
make
you
the
bowled as a little kid? Did you go into the
Just birthday parties, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, when they took the bumpers off, did you
Oh, it was a rough start, but
took
I
the
figured
training
it out.
wheels off?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. What type of ball do you typically throw?
I throw a 16-pound two-hander. So
You're one of the spinners, huh?
yes, sir.
Okay. And what do we think? What kind of advantage do you think that gives you?
I don't think it really gives me an advantage. It's just the guide hand. It's just the whole reason why the two-handers are here. It's just a guide hand to help get the ball down the right spot.
So just hitting the mark is very important,
Yes, sir.
especially when you're throwing it like that.
That completely decides how your ball is going to react and everything.
Yeah, I've done both ways. I was taught in the old days. You just watch the center pin and you aim for that one. You know.
Oh, yeah.
And I never took my eyes up the center pin. Oh, I was standing right in front of it. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't tell me when to release the ball. But do you ever get up there and the game's on the line, and it's the 10th, and you need a strike?
Oh,
What goes through your mind when that is? And I know you know because you guys all watch the scoreboard, right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
actually, Friday, I had the front 9 strikes, and if I would have gotten that first shot in the 10th, the strike, I could have probably bowled a 300. So I got up there, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like I had everybody watching, the whole world watching, and my nerves got the best of me, and it's just I'd crack under pressure pretty easily, so didn't do very well.
So do you think the coach could have came up and slapped you a little bit and say, "Get your
Yeah.
head in the game"? Right. How about you, Cam?
I'd say I'm supporting my family up there, and the bowling family is. You gotta put in your head. You gotta do this for the team. Let's just throw it. You've done it 100 times before. So just get it done.
So you guys kind of, I mean, you guys get along pretty well. You like each other. There's good camaraderie on the guy side.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
Because I know the girls, they got pretty good camaraderie as well. So
Yeah, all the guys, we've known each other for at least 3 years, or if not more. Like me and Cam, we went to elementary school together, so we've known each other since kindergarten. So we get along really well.
Oh yeah.
So what's the toughest spare you had to make? I asked the girls, the toughest spare this year that you can remember?
Mine was at the beginning of the season. I had the 6, 10, and the 7, the 2 farthest right, and then the farthest left pin, and I got it right in between the 2. Shot the 6 over to the 7 and made it.
Oh man, that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Me personally, I've shot the big 4. It was a very tough. I wasn't really trying to make it, but ended up catching it.
Yeah, what did it feel like after the pins went down?
It was a very nuts experience.
Well, talk about a little bit about tournaments that you guys play in. And I asked the coaches this earlier in the show that, is there a difference the way you approach it when you go into a tournament as opposed to maybe a match with just a separate school? How do you approach it?
I'd personally say in singles matches, it's you versus everybody. And as our team, we're all there. If any of us podium, we're all happy. It's in a team match, we're all just trying to ease on into it, keep the team in their heads.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say there's absolutely no difference, but being honest, because in league matches, it's teams that we know that we face and how they bowl and how we compete against them and all that. In tournaments, it's you have never bowled against some of these people and you have absolutely no clue how they bowl. So I feel like we go into tournaments more aggressive than we do league matches. So
Okay, so I'm going to ask you something that, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but say you're bowling in a tournament against a team,
mm-hmm.
and there's a guy on the other team that's killing it. Do you ever feel like taking your ball and just accidentally dropping it on his toe?
There's moments. There's
So you have thought about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's this, we call it the curse, where if you tell somebody they're having a really good game, like when they're actually having a really good game, then they're gonna mess up the next ring, no matter what. It works every time. And there's moments where we do it in tournaments and they mess up and we feel awful right away. But I mean,
The trick works.
it's getting an edge.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't hurt as much as dropping a ball on the guy's toe,
yeah.
which would really hurt. Go ahead. You were going to say something?
I just say, personally, I'm still giving the kid high fives. I'm congratulating him. I'm making him feel, I try to put the pressure on him and have him get into his head.
That's good. I like the little psychological approach from the Romeo bowling team. What stands out in your mind about this year so far? Kind of the best memory. What do you think is this year?
I'd say the boys have all become more friends. We're all more like we have a better relationship all together as a team, and the season's going great, and the Bulldogs are coming for the win.
Yeah, we all know, if somebody messes up, we know how to calm them down, if not let them get angry, and how to get everybody back on track. So
you're able to, but is there one match where you guys won that you were like, you had a little bit more sweetness to it than the others?
Oh, for sure. Against Marysville. Because Marysville, they're the team that absolutely crushed us. So it felt really nice to crush them. And yeah, that's probably the sweetest one, I think, from this year.
When did you know the crush was on?
Probably by the second singles match.
Yeah.
Because we already won majority of the points, so we knew we were winning no matter what. And then, yeah.
And what are some of the other guys that have helped this team become winners?
I want to say Adam Sokolowski.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely carried this team, and he's our senior this year, and he's definitely shown all of us the way to stay together as a team and keep the team spirit going.
Yeah, he's our anchor. He's the 10th bowler. He's the 5th bowler, so he bowls frames 5 and 10 in Baker's games. Always manages to close it out and helps us out tremendously.
And who else on the team?
Brody Ganich. He's probably one of our most consistent bowlers on the team. He has the highest average right now on the team, I believe, and he's just always there to bring it, no matter what.
Brody's always in the right mindset.
Yeah, and anybody else?
Caleb Grosjean. He always does. Sometimes he does get in his head a little bit, but when he's not in his head, he's a phenomenal bowler, and he greatly, greatly helps us out.
I tell my wife that. Don't get in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She looks at me like, what? Who else? Anybody else?
That's really about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the seniors had really helped you out a little bit, the senior
Adam.
Kokoleski. Adam.
Yeah.
That really helped you out. And what do you expect for next year? Because you guys are coming back, so.
Yeah. Next year, a little bit. We had trouble getting younger bowlers out this year because nobody's really interested. But we're hoping next year to get some more recruits and one of them come up to varsity because we're only gonna have 4 varsity guys with us because we're losing Adam, and then so we're gonna need a 5th for sure.
Definitely. We're going to definitely be taking the victory next season.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that you guys can really get the championship for the league and maybe
Yes,
go
sir.
far in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. Well, excellent. I appreciate you guys just stopping by, and best of luck in the state tournament.
All right, thank you.
Sir.
All right. Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap, and let's recap some of those other things that are going on in Romeo High School sports. The Romeo varsity basketball team. They are 6-13 on the year. They finished strong at the end of the last month with 2 straight victories, but now they've had 2 straight losses. Coach Marv Cushenberry trying to right the ship and get them to peak at the right time for the state tournament. So we'll keep an eye on those guys. The Romeo varsity hockey team's been kind of a little bit of sputtery. They had 3 games last week. They had a win, a loss, and a tie. But their win was a good one against Chippewa Valley Unified team. They came back and they were able to beat Chippewa Valley while they held on to win. But they had previously lost to Chippewa Valley United, so this was a big win for them. And now they got MAC tournament coming up here, and so there'll be some exciting hockey, and you'll be able to see at least one of the games on the Mitt TV if that's possible. You want to check it out on YouTube. And then the Romeo wrestling team, the Romeo varsity wrestling team's 23-11 and 3-2 in the MAC Red. Romeo entered the 14 individuals were entered into the holiday tournament here, and it looks pretty good for Romeo's wrestlers. Got a lot of guys that are going to wrestle, and you'll probably hopefully you'll see some of them go pretty far in the States. Maybe they'll be fortunate enough to come up with a title, with a state title, which will be wonderful again for the second year in a row. So the Romeo bowling team, you just saw them. I mean, they finished a great season, both girls varsity and boys varsity, with the girls having a chance to be the champions of their division. And they're going into the tournament looking at possibly 2 or 3 bowlers on each side that could do really well in the tournament. Depends if they're hot that day, but it'll be great, and we look forward to I'm going to probably go out there and watch those guys, so that'll be great. Romeo Swimming won a 3-team meet against Harper Woods and Royal Oak. Connor Stone, Dylan Havlin, and Carter Vinson swam well for the Bulldogs. Earlier in the month, they faced 25 teams in the Macomb County Boys Tournament, and the championships on February 2nd and 3rd. And Romeo's Connor Stone placed 4th in the 50-yard freestyle. And we had in the 100-yard breaststroke, he also finished 5th. And the team, Romeo's team, finished 4th overall in the 200 freestyle relay and the 200 medley. They were 6th in the 200 medley. And girls basketball, well, they're rolling. Coach Ron LeBlanc has a team rolling. They're a record of 14-5. They've won 4 in a row so far. Hopefully they'll win their game tonight. And going into the tournament, looks like they are peaking. So you want to watch out and maybe go out and support the girls varsity basketball team. Well, for the folks and the crew here at the Mitt TV, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Romeo Sports Recap. We'll see you next time right here on the Mitt TV.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer. Signing off with a final word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.